This is LEGO's most expensive and largest Hagrid's hut ever. But before you spend your galleons, we're going to test it out and see, does it deserve that top spot? Or maybe there's other Harry Potter magic you'd rather spend it on. Hey, I'm Paul. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I've been building and collecting LEGO for over 25 years. I use that information to give perspective on all these wonderful new sets. And we're going to bond over what you're going to love about it and what questions you might have, whether you're a collector, whether you're a parent thinking about buying this, or whether you're a mock builder and looking for specific things that you can't get anywhere else. I got you covered. So we're going to go through Unexpected Visit, Hagrid's hut, in just a moment, and there's so much to break down here. If you stick around to the very end, you'll also see how this whole thing comes together in a little speed build. All right, let's get started. This is set 76428, Hagrid's hut, An Unexpected Visit. Called that because it references a specific point in the film where Draco shows up unexpectedly. It comes with 7 bags and 1 instruction manual and 1 sticker sheet, which just has 4 stickers on it, but they really add a lot of context. Let's talk about the minifigures. In this set, you get Ron, Harry, Hermione, Draco, Hagrid, and for the very first time ever in a LEGO set, a molded Fang. Pretty amazing. All of these characters, with the exception of Hagrid and Fang, have a dual face print, so they can be surprised and scared when Norbert is running around, which is pretty fun. And on the front and back, they both have some really nice details in terms of the prints for these minifigs. So to me, these are really beautiful looking. If you're a collector, let's go over some of the things you're going to love about this and some things you might have questions about before you dive in. So it's definitely a much larger and more detailed build. That's the big thing it has going for it. It's a big jump over the previous version in 2019, which had around 495 pieces. And it's much more detailed. The walls themselves are built versus a single mold, which is really cool. So it gives you that weathered, rustic feeling to it, which I really think is really clever. It's fully enclosed with the hinged opening access. We're no stranger to sets that actually fold together and click into place, but I do want to give props to the designer here for these 2 different kinds of connections that really keep it together. So it's very sturdy and stable when you put it together. It doesn't feel like these 2 sections are wobbling at all. So that's a huge, huge plus. And there are better, more minifigures and creatures. So you got the characters, but you also then have Fang and also Norbert, which I think is really fun. I don't know if I've seen Norbert before, which I think is great. So in my experience, Norbert's new to me. And some of these molds or prints seem pretty new, maybe even exclusive here. So based on my experience, these are pretty great. There's definitely upgrades to the interior, so there's more furniture and there's more accessories and small things that make it really fun and make it more decorative, I think, in terms of collectible items like the dragon egg and the portraits themselves. Some of the best design in this set is in these smaller components. This is Hagrid's recliner, and it actually is hinged in 2 different places, so, we can get our favorite groundskeeper to get in there and be able to actually relax. And of course, this is scaled up. So in the same way that everything else has been scaled up with the new Hogwarts series, this has as well. So it kind of is in keeping with giving more detail to everything, but of course at more of a price. Like all Harry Potter sets recently, it comes with 2 collectible portraits, and they're randomized. One of them is right here, but the second one, can you find it? It's kind of strange. The instructions tell you to build this very shallow unit and then put one inside. I don't know why it would need to be in there. You can't see it. Maybe so you can swap them out, I suppose. It's not really a play feature. It's just kind of a storage. But it makes me wonder, why did we bother getting 2? So here we have Fang's doghouse, and it's a nice addition, gives some dimension to this set, but there's some things that I really don't like about it, and I almost wish that it hadn't been included in a way because it's more of a disappointment than anything else. You've got, I don't know why it's got this room here for him. It's great. There's lots of room inside, but I would have liked to have had a little extension here so I could actually connect him to the doghouse, which would have been great. You also have this real inconsistency in the roof line here. So the build, I went back and looked a couple of times. There's kind of like a missing piece here that would have made this stick at the same angle as the other flaps, I think would have been cool. And then you have this part here, which I don't think looks great. I understand there's a lot of constraints on this tiny bit of build, and there's a lot of fun building activity going on here, but overall to me this is just a miss, and I almost wish it hadn't been included. So on either side of the main build, you have two extra pieces that are joined on. You've got pumpkins, and you've also got a wood stump. I like to move them around, and I think they clip on really easily, and it makes it fun. But I think it makes more sense this way, because then you can have Draco standing on top of that stump, spying on them through the window, which feels to me more like the movie. To me, the only real downside here as a collector is the price, right? So there's not a ton of unique pieces in here, but you are getting this better version of the build, that's for sure. But I have to say, I bought this a couple of weeks ago, and when I went to put it together, I had a great time. But then when I was looking at the price that I paid for it when I was doing research to put this together, I was really surprised at what I paid. Looking at it assembled, I thought it was more of like a $50 set. It is very, very detailed, but it doesn't give that same impression that some other things do at that price range. For parents, there are a couple of things specifically that I think make this a good purchase. Number one is it is all contained. So as a playable set, you've got everything you need here. There's no need to get extra parts to be able to tell the story or to be able to have action go on in Hagrid's hut. It's all here, which is good. Number two is it has some of kids' fan favorite characters. So sort of the Hogwarts A-team, I like to think about it. So you've got all these people that they really love, and they're all there. We're not missing anybody, which I think is really terrific. It's also good for, the third thing is it actually, because it's compact, because it all goes together, for storability in a kid's room where maybe space is limited, it's actually a pretty good idea. There are two things you might want to think about when you're considering it. Number one, the price for sure is a big leap. If your child or if the recipient already has a lot of Harry Potter and you're willing to go into this extra investment, that's great. Maybe not the first place to start. You might have some other things that are more impressive, more Hogwartsy, if you will. But I think that it's a fun build for what you're paying for. The second thing is the stickers. Although there are only 4 and they're good size, that placement is going to feel more awkward and frustrating if you don't get it right. So you may be asked to help for a couple of things. And lastly, for my mock builder friends, although there are not a lot of super unique elements in this particular set, there's a lot of regular stuff that you've seen over and over again, which makes it good for, bashing apart and using for other things. There are a couple of things that I haven't seen in a long time, or maybe rarely seen, that are worth noting. Number one, of course, we have to talk about Fang, included here in physical Lego form for the very first time. We've also got Norbert the dragon with his very specific mold, and I think the print is noteworthy, at least it was to me. You've got these 2 collectible Hogwarts portrait tiles. Again, those are really fun. It's nice to have them. If you are collecting them, you will get 2 in this set, which is great. You've got these 2 little oven mitts. I had to actually figure out what they were. I had to Google to figure out what they were. And they were introduced in 2024 and actually just really intended to be used in this set. So that dark green, dark orange with little chili peppers on it, I think it's amazing. You also get 4 of this modified angular extension with this sort of molded flexible rubber light bluish gray tip. So this roof element I think is really interesting. It's only been used in 6 sets, and it was actually introduced in in 2009 for Space, and then in 2022's Mandalorian and One Starfighter, where you may have seen it most recently. But that's hard to find, and I think it's really cool. So my final verdict, there's lots of things to recommend this, and there's also some things to consider. I'll put those on screen as we're talking. Here's what I do love the most about this. If you're a fan of the films like I am and of the books, this is the most accurate version of Hagrid's hut that we've ever had. Even though it is only from the first film, it's a great representation in terms of that. My biggest downside is at almost 900 pieces, that's a big piece count. It gives you great value for the price, actually. But so many of them are buried inside to create something that's very compact looking that it doesn't look like you're getting great value for that money. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but to me, this could be a bigger set. If I think of other sets that were $75 or the price that I paid when I got this, I feel like there's more of an impression. And this is much more densely built, and there's more pieces, but it's kind of all compacted together to create this really screen accurate version. So that's what you're taking into consideration here. So if you love Harry Potter, you're going to love this. If you're kind of looking for the big wow moment, it doesn't give you that in the same way that other pieces have lately. But at the end of the day, if you're a Hagrid fan like me, this is what he deserves, right? To be upscaled like the rest of Hogwarts in this new series, it's only fitting. And as for the price, maybe even half-giants have to upgrade their homes occasionally, and that costs money. All right, so my favorite part about doing these always is doing it with you and for you. And whether you have this Lego set, whether you have any Lego set, remember, you've got this. Please remember to like and subscribe. You know what to do. And if you stick around, you'll see how this all comes together in a magically fast speed build.